Hey all, for installing a hypervisor, first you have to find a hypervisor software. So there are various hypervisor softwares available on the market like VMware, VirtualBox, and a lot more. So for this demonstration, let's consider VirtualBox for instance. So in order to download VirtualBox, first you have to go to virtualbox.org, under which you will have a downloads column. So under downloads, you will have VirtualBox for various operating systems like Windows, Mac, Linux. So you have to choose and install according to your priority and preference. So this being a Windows system, let me go for Windows host. And yep, it's downloading. Once the downloading is done, just click on open file and install the software as you installed any other software. So here we go. So once the software is installed, it's ready to be used now. Yeah, it's done. So now VirtualBox is installed. So once VirtualBox is installed, you can go ahead and open VirtualBox. As you can see, you have the VirtualBox installed, but there's no operating system here. So it's now our responsibility or job to add any VirtualBox or virtual machine that you want to use here. So for this demonstration, since I have Debian ISO file, let me choose Debian here. So for Ubuntu, it's as same as this, nothing different. Let me give 1.5 GB. So memory size is one more important column that has to be noted of. So memory size, the one that is provided in this green area is how much you can expand your memory. Just because it is showing so much like approximately 11 GB, it is not necessary you have to occupy majority of this. You can efficiently allocate by analyzing how much your operating system would require. So since I'm installing a Debian, I'm pretty sure that that's not going to require more than 1.5 GB because that's a very lightweight operating system with which consumes very less memory. So and then you have to just create a virtual hard disk now, VDI image dynamically allocated, and then the same goes with space as I told for memory. So here you have to choose the memory how much you need. Let me give 11 GB for now. So now my operating system is ready to be booted. Before that, let me show you a few other things. You have processor. So processor here it's having one processor, and okay, all these is fine. So but if your computer is old or maybe a bit slow, you have to also tamper this in order to make your operating system and your host operating system and your guest operating system work smoothly. So after this we have networks. So in network you have NAT and bridged adapter and host only adapter. So what is NAT? NAT is nothing but it's a kind of thing in which your Debian operating system is isolated from the host operating system, which means it is independent in terms of connectivity. But in a bridged adapter, the network being shared is through via a format of Ethernet connection. In spite of it not being physically connected, but still the network shared is shared via Ethernet. So now everything is fine and all set to go. So you have to just boot your operating system and install it. So it would ask you to first choose an ISO file. So let me go ahead and choose an ISO file. Yeah, so let me choose this ISO file, click open. Yeah, so now choose it and click start, and you're done. So you have graphical install just as same as what will be shown in Ubuntu. So now you have to basically install this operating system. Just go continue. So after this, just change the names as you wish. Or if you don't know the domain name, just leave it empty. And then for password, give any password of your choice. And basically, and here you go. So once after configuring, if I click continue, I'm all set to install the or the guest operating system onto my VirtualBox. So with this, it's basically done. Now choosing disk is another major thing that you have to take care of. Provided in the sense that when you install an operating system which has to do when you install an operating system in dual boot or triple boot, one thing that we have to keep in mind is we have to allocate accordingly. We should not wipe away any data on disk. But here, anything and everything is stored in a kind of folder format. Let me show you something. So maybe this is an operating system. This is a Debian based operating system which I created for myself. So in this operating system, if you have to look into, this has approximately 17 GB, and this is the disk itself. This is not a folder, this is a disk itself that is booting up the operating system. So similarly, when you this was installed on VMware, this operating system was installed on VMware. Similarly, when you install an operating system on VirtualBox, it is the disk itself which is in the folder format. So first myth of it affecting your disk space or something like that, I mean disk memory or something like that, it's not gonna hold true, because it is just nothing but just a folder that is being created. So it is as simple as that. You can use an entire disk, because as I guess it was 11 GB that we allocated. So that's a dynamic memory that we allocated. So for that 11 GB, just a folder is going to be created. So you can use the entire disk and just continue. Yeah, and finish partitioning. Okay, great. And then yes. So now it's pretty much done. So after this, only thing that is left in is once the operating system is installed, you can give your username and password and boot up. So that's all. It's all set to done. For time being, I have already installed this operating system onto my another hypervisor. So let me show you that. Pausing this. Great. So so maybe this this is one of the operating system. This is not Ubuntu, but this is a Debian operating system, Debian based operating system. So once the installation is done, you will get something like this, and you can basically do anything and everything that you want to do on a Linux based operating system. So if you want to get super user privileges, you can give and root, which will give you super user privileges, and you can change your directory to desktop. and maybe you can create a folder, and inside that folder you can create something called maybe a file. So basically you can do anything and everything that you want to do here. uh, so let's just see if the folder that we wanted to create is actually created here or not. So under desktop we have test, and we have test file.txt, and you can either edit this using Vim editor, or you can edit this using normal GUI itself. So this is pretty much about how to install an operating system onto your virtual box. So one more thing, your guest operating system is completely independent of your host operating system, provided you configure it NAT or host only. Thank you so much for listening.